you want to make money, let's figure something else out. And I hate it.
Gervonta Davis. It's like when you
Who do you got?
you guys need to fight guys your fucking same size.
When you see this fight, do you see like Tank just having his way with Jake? Like given like no?
No, I'm gonna tell you this is what I tell Tank. And Tank said it in the interview. I said, Tank, y'all going there doing y'all thing, woo woo woo. And I said, he ain't giving you nothing.
Dana White was unreserved in her criticism of the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight, calling the whole event ridiculous. He continually criticized the idea that Paul could compete against a fighter of Davis's caliber on what he described as strange and unbalanced terms. White made a strong case that the rules were unfair and that the fight was more of a show than a genuine sport.
It's getting really weird. Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. Instead it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
The next dispute comes with the gloves. Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves. Baby glove. This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Oh, so Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach.
Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake.
Exhibition though, can he win?
Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges.
So you can actually still win and knock him out.
But here's the trick. It's body punches only.
And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall?
At Jake Paul's belly.
Oof.
So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing as well.
But Jake Paul.
Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul battle. Since the fight will be treated as an exhibition, it won't have an impact on either fighter's professional record. 10 rounds of 3 minutes each will be fought. For the bout, both competitors must weigh no more than 195 pounds. The 12-ounce gloves that each fighter will be using are heavier than the normal glove size for this level. The fight will be scored by 3 judges who have been formally approved, and if the bout goes the full distance, a winner will be announced.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a victor, because the fighters have agreed and the commission has approved a maximum weight of 195 pounds for this exhibition. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds. The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds, and when Tank and Jake enter the squared circle to go to battle, they will be wearing 12-ounce gloves. Sitting ringside will be 3 commission-approved world-class professional judges that will score every round to ensure there's a decisive outcome for the fight if it goes the distance. And both men are enrolled in the highest level of testing with USADA. So Tank, Jake, thank you for doing this. Thank you for giving boxing another massive moment, headlined by yourselves, featuring multiple world title fights.
The glove arrangements for Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis are causing major concern among boxing insiders. Given that Davis is competing against a considerably stronger opponent and is moving well outside of his typical weight class, his trainer Calvin Ford raised serious concerns about the gloves. The boxers will now be using 12-ounce gloves, which are far heavier than what Davis typically wears in his lightweight fights, he said.
Actually, when I heard about the fight, they called me and said, what you thought about the fight? I said, the fight doable. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched Tanky for years, and I watched other young men in gyms, you know, deal with big guys. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he's big. To me, it's like Jake having his first open fights. If anybody know about the amateurs going open, then you go pro. So, you know, he's a very fighter guy that does have skills. You know what I'm saying? My only concern is, you know, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s, so he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said, put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting, you know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there, because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers, They was, no, we don't want to do no mixed match. It's supposed to be an expedition. What, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these restrictions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? Tank don't really care, So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So, again, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s. Then we got to fight,
The weight, how's that going to work out? Like,
Well, they got him at 190, 195. I thought it was going to be 190. So they gave him 5. So again, they keep giving, I ain't worrying about the weight. You know what I'm saying? We got to deal with it. We're taking the fight. We signed the contract. We're going to make it do what it do.
how much do you think he's going to weigh like the night of the fight? Like, yeah, and both. Like, is there anything in place where like Jake can't weigh more than like?
Based on how he handled himself through camp. Camp is the most important thing because if you have a good camp, you're going to have a great fight. So my thing is just making sure the camp is good. We're doing all the necessary things, dealing with the weight, the gloves and all that stuff,
Ford suggests that whereas Paul, who is fighting at a significantly heavier weight, wears 10 gloves, Davis should be permitted to fight in his typical 8-ounce gloves. He contends that doing so would more fairly level the playing field.
I see y'all doing all this betting and stuff, right? And I'm looking at the fight because I'm his coach. This is a very serious fight, and I'm a very serious person. My question to you is, where the 12-ounce gloves come from? Why y'all couldn't take 10 and he had 8? Already he giving up 4 ounces of the gloves. I gotta say this because y'all betting all this money. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, wait. You guys were the ones that wanted 12-ounce gloves, not me. I'll do 8. Fuck, I'll do 4. I'll do 2 ounces. I'll do bare knuckle. Like,
I wasn't aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that he can handle himself.
so what do you want? 10 ounce? 8 ounce? What do we
But
want?
if he once said that, I'm gonna go with that. I wasn't aware of that.
No, the 12 ounce came from your guys' side.
No,
and
it's
I
not.
did. On God, perfect. Then what do you want? 10?
No, I didn't say that.
So 10 ounces?
It don't matter to me. It don't
Perfect.
matter.
It doesn't matter to him. So
It
back
don't
to
matter.
what I always wanted, which was 10 ounces. Great.
You just
Thank
made
you for
something
the-
It don't
clear to
matter.
me. You just
Thank
made
you.
something clear because I didn't know because you fight in 10s, he fight in 8s.
Yeah, your
You
guys'
understand
side.
what I'm saying? So I'm like
I
12
can
ounces. He's
show
giving
the
up 4.
emails and the screenshots.
I
You
get
guys
that.
asked for 12 ounces.
It's part of negotiation. I get it.
No, let's do it. 10 ounces, 8. Let's do it. That's great. That's going to make it more exciting for the fans. Thank God. I wanted 10s really bad.
When discussing Jake Paul's matchmaking tactics, Dana White didn't hold back. He publicly chastised Paul for fighting opponents who were much too big or uncompetitive for him, stating that Paul ought to go fight someone his own size. White reaffirmed his belief that these mismatches aren't helping the sport by pointing out that Paul didn't do well when he really faced someone of similar size and ability. White has made some direct remarks regarding the much-awaited fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis, describing it as extremely lopsided. Given the huge size differential, White noted that although Davis hits more harder, he is too little to actually knock out Paul. He claims that although Davis may has the talents, his chances of winning a knockout are low due to Paul's size and physical advantage, as he will find it difficult to enter and enforce his will.
Gervonta Davis. It's like when you
Who do you got?
You guys need to fight guys your fucking same size. You know what I mean?
Straight up ignored.
When you fought Floyd, you are massive. You're a massive fucking dude. Floyd's tiny. And I'm sure when you were training, you're like, all right, I'm going to hit this guy with a couple punches and grab him, tie him up. And he did hit you with a fucking bomb of an overhand right one time. And you fucking ate it. You ate that punch.
Logan's like proud of it. He's like, yeah, I did. Hell yeah, I ate that punch from a 140 pounder. You're damn right, dude. Now, granted, it's Floyd Mayweather, still 200 pounds, dog. You know what I mean? This is why, and I agree with this why, the Gervonta fight makes no sense to me. Because even, yes, Floyd didn't have the punching power. Even if Gervonta lands, I don't see him hurting Jake to the point he knocks him out. What are we even doing? Where's the idea of this gonna, where's the idea that Gervonta's even gonna hurt him? He may hurt him to the body, whatever. Jake doesn't want to throw as much, but I don't see him one punch knocking Jake out. And, the same thing was kind of said with Logan. Like, okay, Floyd probably won't knock him out, but probably going to outbox him. I get where Dana's coming from. These things are not meant to be competitive fights. They're meant to make money and to, I guess, scratch that itch of the circus mystery unknown.
And Gervonta, I think, hits way harder than fucking Floyd, but he's too small. I mean, your brother's going to be able to, get inside on him, put his weight on him, tie him up. But I don't hate your brother. Your brother's out there doing his thing. But it cracks me up that they want to start suing people that are talking shit when your brother talks more shit than anybody talks.
I think the thought process behind it is, okay, so Jake and I are obviously pretty polarizing individuals, and when an echo chamber starts and a rumor mill starts of like staged fight bullshit, which like these fights aren't staged, you know, that's just, it's at that level, it's like almost impossible. I think they think that it affects the business and it affects the brand because people discredit him as actually having legitimate bouts.
Recent rumors claim that during his training camp, Gervonta Davis has been gaining weight. Though he has never formally weighed more than the 135 pounds lightweight limit, he is now said to be wandering around closer to 160 pounds. By doing this, he gets closer to the catch weight that was decided upon for his exhibition fight versus Jake Paul, which could lessen one of Paul's advantages. Davis might become a more powerful and unpredictable opponent as a result of his increased bulk, which could also increase his punch resistance. He may be able to absorb more hits and launch more powerful counterattacks as a result of the bulk up, which could change the fight's dynamics. The weight gain indicates that Davis is taking the challenge seriously and is ready to display a different side of himself, even though he is still below the agreed catch weight limit.
Gervonta Tank Davis, it's my prediction that Gervonta Tank Davis is going to weigh in on the night of the fight against Jake Paul, knocking on 160 pounds. Don't be surprised if he's 157 pounds, something like that. You guys see this footage? Look at Tank. Now, if you know what you're looking at, the guy must be around 150 right now, 153, something like that. And you can really tell when he's sideways. When you look at him sideways and see the depth. See, from the front view, you can't really tell. But when he turns sideways, the guy is a wrecking ball. He's literally a baby rhino out there. And I think that is the idea for him to bulk up and be a little powerhouse out there. And I'm all for it. I'm gonna tell you in this video why I think that's the best thing for Tank and why I think he will be knocking on 160 pounds.
The majority of boxing experts think Jake Paul will be given a tough reality check when he fights Gervonta Davis. They note that Davis possesses more than just strength. He practiced against elite opponents for years, perfecting his timing, technique, spacing, and battle IQ. Davis's accuracy is so deadly that one well-placed shot may completely change the outcome of the fight, even though Paul is still honing his craft. Paul's defense is still unpolished in the interim. His ring smarts are unproven at this high level, and his reflexes are frequently predictable. The difference in experience and competence here is not just significant, but potentially decisive, according to true professionals.
Tank Davis look crazy, bro. Chilaquiles. Gervonta Tank Davis hitting a heavy bag in preparation for his Jake Paul fight November 14th down there in Florida. Man looks absolutely amazing. Man looks like a monster. Man looks like precision. Jake Paul cannot take those body shots. You mean to tell me somebody who done fought UFC fighters and a man with Parkinson's disease can take a body punch from Gervonta Tank Davis and y'all basing y'all logic just because Jake Paul is big? No, Tank's gonna go ahead and put this man to sleep. I'm telling y'all that right now. If Tank don't put this man to sleep, he done let the black community down, he done let boxing down, and he ain't never been that nice. You Tank fans, y'all trying to give him a pass. If y'all said Tank is as skilled as y'all say he is, if he does not put Jake Paul to sleep and stop Jake Paul, his boxing career is absolutely voided. He already don't care about legacy, and just imagine he don't knock out Jake Paul, and now y'all want to say it's not a real fight, it's an exhibition. No, we not giving no passes, bro. This Gervonta Tank Davis, he needs to put Jake Paul to sleep. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, Jake Paul too big. No, Jake Paul chin ain't never been tested by somebody that hit as hard as Gervonta Tank Davis. Tank should put this man to sleep with ease. I say that respectfully. If you don't put him to sleep,
a 2-pack of ass. That shit stinks.
That's a 2-pack of ass at the highest level, and it's a musty energy at the highest level. Get it together. Get it together. Tank looks amazing. That's the Chilaquiles.
According to Teddy Atlas, Davis is currently the closest boxing has to a fully realized boxer. He commends Tank for his counterpunching instincts, trap setting, distance control, and mental toughness in the ring in addition to his devastating power and finish abilities. Davis is viewed by Atlas as being thoughtful, patient when necessary, and always planning forward rather than just using force. According to him, Davis is the only boxer among the top lightweights with the skills necessary to defeat a fighter like Jake Paul, whose style is evolving but whose record doesn't demonstrate elite technical proficiency.
World champion boxer. That the only other time he was in for the fans to get mad with that was against Tommy Fury, but it wasn't that level, obviously, and all the size things you just rightfully pointed out. But he would have been in there with, I mean, it seemed crazy. You're going to go in there with a guy who was a two-time heavyweight champ and a gold medalist? Wow. Even though the guy's, at a twilight part of his career, still.
And you've given a lot of credit and props to Jake Paul on this show of helping get more eyeballs to the sport, but the way he takes it serious and goes about approaching his work to this craft, that he does take it seriously. With that being said, when he announces Tank Davis, I'm getting tired of these gimmick fights and him loading the deck up. Whether it was Chavez Jr. or an old Mike Tyson, or we could go on and on with some of the UFC guys and the great Anderson Silva at 46 years of age. Tank Davis, great fighter, current fighter, world champion. We know how good he is. Been a top 10 pound-for-pound guy for you for the last few years now. But he's 5'5" and 135 pounds. This sounds like it would be a 195-pound fight, an exhibition. Wouldn't count on their records. Not a whole lot of other details other than it will be in November, and it sounds like in Atlanta. But I've said enough. I just want to hear your take. What do you make of this news, Jake Paul and Tank Davis?
But, and I'm smiling. But, back in the day, I loved the 1800s, 1700s, my friend out there, 1700s, whatever. But I loved the old-time fights. They were catchweights. And there was guys like Sam Langford. I know Sam Langford should be better with this because he's so special. But, I mean, where Sam Langford beat heavyweights. He fought from lightweight to heavyweight and beat heavyweights. I mean, back in the day when you had a lot of great fighters fighting each other in catchweights, you did have some smaller guys fight bigger guys. And you had them. You had success in spots. So I'm half with tongue in cheek, but I'm half serious because I've been in the boxing business 50 years.
Luke Thomas has also offered his thoughts on the massive battle. Thomas recognized Davis's explosive strength and exceptional finishing reflexes, but he found the champion to be remarkably unenthusiastic at news conferences and promotional events. Davis didn't seem to be giving the fight his all. His demeanor gave the impression that he was more interested in conducting business than in taking the competition seriously. Thomas cautioned that it could be risky to underestimate Paul's preparation and determination, noting that even if Davis is the superior fighter on paper, his seeming indifference could offer Paul an unexpected advantage.